You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is my review for Eric LaRue. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. Eric LaRue is the feature film directorial debut for actor Michael Shannon, and it played as a special presentation at the 46th annual Denver Film Festival with Michael Shannon here in attendance on hand to accept the Breakthrough Director Award. The film was written by Brett Neveau, who is also the original writer for the play in which the film is based off of. Eric LaRue is a 2023 drama that follows the mother of a young man who killed three of his classmates. The film stars Judy Greer, Alexander Skarsgård, Allison Pill, and Tracy Letts. So, as of recording this review, Eric LaRue does not have distribution in place. So, I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to see the film at the 46th Annual Denver Film Festival. And I chose this primarily because I was very interested to see Michael Shannon's directorial debut. I love Shannon as an actor. The cast was fantastic. So I was really excited to see what he was able to accomplish behind the camera. And all of that is why I almost did not review this film in honesty, because unfortunately I didn't love it. But that's not to say it doesn't deserve its chance to be seen by people, to get distribution, and have others see for themselves and experience what Shannon was able to create. So just because this review is not going to be overly positive, I still hope that Eric LaRue is able to find a home and get the distribution that this creative piece of work deserves. But let's go ahead and talk about it, starting off with the positives. Well, my biggest positive actually is Judy Greer in the leading role. I think she is absolutely fantastic in this film. She brings a lot to this character, a very complex character. Janice, the mother of a school shooter who is trying to navigate that, the aftermath of that, her own feelings about that, the other people in her small community after that event. And Judy Greer handles it fantastically. I also think there are several impactful scenes here, particularly one within a prison that we get to experience. We also have some important sessions inside of meetings that take place. And the film gives us an interesting look at religion and how it plays a part in the healing process, both for the positive and the negative. But unfortunately, that's kind of as far as I can go with positives, because I think that at the end of the day, Eric LaRue is a confused and somewhat misguided film. So let's discuss why it didn't work for me with the negatives. Well, it starts with the screenplay. Now, I learned through a post-film discussion that the screenplay actually was only a 4-scene play for the stage. And I really think that Brett Neveau, who is the original playwright and the screenwriter who adapted his own work, struggled in filling out the rest of that runtime, giving us those extra scenes and understanding what the point of view was. I think ultimately we're supposed to be in the mindset of Janice, this mother, and that leads to a certain amount of confusion that escalates to the end viewpoint. It's just not executed all that well. So the film really lacks any sort of viewpoint, honestly. We get these important scenes that start good and have good bits of conversation in them, like in these meeting rooms. However, they kind of fall by the wayside or fall off the rails by the end of it because it felt as if the screenplay and the film itself were afraid to just go there to give us that full moment, to give us an actual viewpoint of the characters themselves and, more importantly, of the film itself. I talked about Janice being a really complicated, complex character. However, it doesn't shine through because the film doesn't feel like it has a strong sense of self as we move through the first two acts. So when we get this big moment in the third act with her and her kind of really digging her heels into what she believes, it doesn't have the same impact as if we were really getting to understand her as a person through those first two acts. Likewise, there's a lot of subplots here that didn't work, particularly everything really that had to do with Ron LaRue. I didn't love. And his colleague, his co-worker, his co-church goer, everything there just felt very odd to me and not needed. And it led to an overall, and a lot of what happens with him and with the both of the pastors, particularly the main pastor we focus on that holds these meetings, the tone is so all over the place for me. And I think you need some levity. Obviously, it has a lot of Michael Shannon's really dry humor throughout, but that really kind of took away from the big moments for me. We were getting comedy thrown into otherwise really impactful moments. Like one of these meetings, we're starting to get things rolling, and then the pastor just kind of throws in a joke. The pastor is so bumbling and ineffective that you're frustrated as a viewer watching because it's like, okay, we just want to get to the conversation already. So, on a topic like this, a topic about school shootings, the tone just felt so inconsistent and a bit inappropriate, which made me feel confused watching it because the film, unfortunately, itself feels kind of confused as to what it wants to do. And ultimately, you can tell that this is a first time director behind the camera. Michael Shannon is able to bring some really interesting stuff out of his actors. However, the flow and the edits, the transition, the tone all needed quite a bit of refining. So I think Eric LaRue does have its heart in the right place. It's obviously an important topic to continue to discuss. It just doesn't quite work in final execution. And all of this coming after we got the amazing film in Mass, which handles parents of someone who commits a school shooting, confronting parents of one of the victims in such an impeccable fashion. To get a film like this just doesn't quite cut it for me, unfortunately, and left me leaving the theater not only confused, but with a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth, I have to say. I hope to see more work from Michael Shannon. I think if he's given a property that more fits within his wheelhouse, a really good film where his dry sensibilities nail it. This just wasn't quite the vehicle for that. So hopefully others get the chance to experience this film as it was intended, that other folks out there get to watch this movie and make up their own minds about how they feel about it, and that it gets distribution soon. But that was my personal review for Eric LaRue. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Have you had the chance to see Eric LaRue at a film festival this year? Otherwise, would you like to see this film get some distribution? Let me know all of your thoughts either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.